And we're back with more social media marketing for business. Today, we're going to be actually going over the different types of social media and why you should use what social media. So, the different types of social media are social networking, which would be something like Facebook or LinkedIn, microblogging, which is Twitter or Tumblr, blogging, which is like WordPress or a blog through your website, photo sharing, which would be Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, and video sharing, which would be like YouTube or Vimeo. Now, the ultimate goal of social media is to push back to your website. When you have a website, you usually pay a hosting fee and you have it hosted somewhere. You own your website, it's your online home. And you have to think of social media as something that you don't own. It's usually through a third party person and they can take away your access at any time. So always keep in mind your ultimate goal is always to push it back to your website. And to make sure when you're creating things for social media, you realize that this is not something that you own. And just always keep that in mind. So be careful on how you use social media to make sure you don't lose this page that you've spent so much time on. So, how many social media accounts should you have? Well, it really depends. Going back to your social media marketing plans, what is it that you're trying to do with social media? There's some places that want to have a social media presence on every single platform, and then there's other people who just want to have it on a few platforms. So you just have to decide what you want to do with your social media in order to figure out which ones do you want. So we're going to go over a couple of different social media platforms and talk about what they're good for. And this will help you decide which ones you want to use. Let's talk about Facebook. That's probably the biggest one. Facebook helps you increase your brand awareness. It allows you to do targeted advertising through ads. You can drill down pretty well for these. You can choose the age, the sex, the region. So Facebook has some really great tools to help you advertise to people. And then you can track your reach and engagement pretty well on Facebook as well. And you can really engage a lot of people because there are a lot of people who are on Facebook. Facebook can also be used with community groups that you can set up on your page. If you're interested in setting up any type of communities, like at the library, we have a group for our book clubs. We have a group for our volunteers. So you're able to set up these community groups that can get your social media to work more for you. The next one is Twitter. Twitter is really great for, it's considered a microblogging, and it's great for quick in the moment snapshots. Some people won't find Twitter very helpful in their business because it's a lot about building relationships with people. It's networking with other professionals, and you can offer like offers, contests, and discounts on Twitter, and you can do things like press releases and things like that on Twitter, but Twitter can be limited and it really is based on what you're trying to do with your social media, what kind of business you have. But these are the things I find most useful with Twitter. Instagram. Now, Instagram is personally one of my favorite social medias. I mean, because obviously I'm a photographer, but also I found in our library that Instagram is really useful. Instagram is a visual medium which really appeals to a lot of people. You can use small snapshots to just give an idea of what's going on. And it's always great to use something visual because that really catches people's attention and holds it. You can also use Instagram stories, which only stick around for 24 hours. So you can advertise sales that way. Or if you want to do a quote or you just want to show merchandise, there's just all sorts of great ways you can use Instagram stories. And it's really creative and people really enjoy watching them. So I definitely suggest you learn how to do that because they're great. And on Instagram, you can also use hashtags. You can tag other people, you can tag other businesses, distributors, suppliers, and then you can also use location tagging. And location is great for helping people find you and also encouraging maybe your customers to do the same where they're using your hashtags, they're tagging you in posts, and they're adding your location to posts if you have a physical brick and mortar store. You can also do all sorts of fun photo contests on Instagram. The possibilities are endless. I think Instagram is a must for every business to have because that is my personal favorite one. And there's just so much you can do with it. And it's not cluttered up like a lot of places. It's very simple visually. It's very popular with all age groups right now. So Instagram is a really great tool for your business. YouTube is another one. This is one that will only appeal to people in certain businesses, but you can use YouTube for brand promotion. You can place promotional videos on there. You can do behind the scenes video. You can add a personal touch here and a glimpse inside your business. If you do like behind the scenes photos, like a day in the life of your business. And once again, going back to what we talked about earlier, that really gives your business this personal touch that can really attract people to you, and it creates that trust. LinkedIn is another social media platform that you can have your business on. This is mostly used for professional networking. Job seekers use it, and you can use it for professional development. So I always suggest anyone in the business field has a LinkedIn page personally for themselves, and if you have your own business, that you do a LinkedIn page for your business as well. It's a great way to share professional development, to share articles about your business, to share articles about your industry, and it helps you connect with other people who creates your network. They can also go on to help you. They could become your customers. You can leave reviews for people. And maybe if you're looking for someone to join your team, you post about it there and you already have connections with people. It's a great way for you to find trustworthy people to work for you. I always suggest you look into LinkedIn. We'll actually have a LinkedIn class later in the summer where I teach you how to use LinkedIn. But it's a really great tool, and I really love LinkedIn for professional networking. Let's talk about blogs. Blogs are great. Blog is kind of a longer form way to talk to your customers. Depending on what business you're in, you may want to use it to show that you're an expert in something. It's just a longer form way of getting to your customers instead of just doing a quick Facebook status or a photo on Instagram. The best thing about a blog is that you can use your blog as your social media content. So for instance, you do a blog post, you can share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And so you're actually creating this content for your social media. I always suggest you try to do a blog that's tied into your website. For instance, the Carnegie Library blog is on our website. So if you go to that, you can see what programs we have coming up. You can see what's going on at the Carnegie. And it's just a way for us to share something a little extra. We have a newsletter, of course, but sometimes they just want to go to our website and find out what's going on. Also, you can use your blog to create content for others to share, especially if you're in an industry where you need to have a lot of knowledge for something. You can create content and other people might share it on their social media because it's useful content. You can also ask people to create content for you. Maybe you have an expert come in and do a guest blog post. Just be aware that you offer to compensate them in some way, whether it's just sharing all their social media things or you pay them. Just be aware that it's a lot of work. So blogs are really great if you have the time to put into a blog. If you aren't able to really maintain a blog, I would say the least amount you should post is at least once a month. So if you don't think you can at least do one post a month, and then maybe you don't want to start a blog. You don't want people to go to your blog and it's never updated, because then there's just no use in maintaining it, because no one will really try to go look and see, oh, do they have something new? It's like, oh, they never post anything new. So just be aware that if you do a blog, you want to keep it up. And we're going to talk really quick about podcasts. A podcast is another way that you can get the word out about what you do. Podcasts are pretty popular now. I would say they might be even a little oversaturated, but a podcast is a great way to communicate, connect, and engage with your audience. This is probably something you would want to do if you're an expert in something or you have a really niche business. This would be a great way to get your word out. You can have guests come on and talk about things going on in your industry, but a podcast is very time intensive. There is a learning curve, so this might not be something that you want to jump into. But there's so much stuff you can do with podcasts. I just want to let you know this is another way you can create content for your social media channels. Thanks for joining me for Social Media Marketing for Business. So let's go over this real quick. Why is social media important for your business? Branding, advertising creates trust and tells your story. Go back to the social media marketing worksheet I gave you and look over it. Make sure you fill it out. Don't forget your objectives and goals, your content plan, and your social media calendar. And then the different social media types are social networking, microblogging, blogging, photo sharing, and video sharing. And then, of course, we go into all the specifics, what Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, a blog, and a podcast can do for your business. So if you have any questions, please ask me down in the comments or send us an email at carnegie@cityofnoonan.org. We'll be glad to answer any questions you have, and I really hope you enjoyed this social media marketing for business. Thanks so much.